What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. The Dallas Mavericks, I think they had a really nice offseason. Obviously, you get the Klay sweepstakes, but they added some other guys that I think are going to be very valuable to their defensive identity. And there's some good things that they did this offseason, and this is a team that was in the finals last year, and I think they got better, which that's a step up. That's an improvement. The rest of the West is getting, or some of the other teams in the West are getting better. But let's talk about what the Mavs have done that's going to help them into next season and why I like their offseason so much. Before I do, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you like this kind of content. Please like the video. But obviously, we got to start with Klay because, Klay is one of the best shooters of all time. Probably top 2 or 3 shooter of all time. And you just put him next to Luka, who's one of the best passers ever. So you're doing great just off of that because you're going to have a Luka and Lively pick and roll with Klay in the weak side corner. Good luck to the defenses. It's not Derrick Jones out there. The shots are just, the offense is just more explosive, plain and simple. And Klay's still an above average defender. And the important part is that another team in the West like the Lakers was trying to get him. So you made sure that the other teams that are competing, trying to get to the mountaintop, did not get better in that sense to where you added a guy that can still go for 20 plus any given night, can still hit 5-6 threes, can still light up the floor, and he's going to be playing off of Luka, Kyrie, Lively, like he's in that perfect floor spacer option, which is nice. It's nice because he's still going to be able to provide you good defense. He's going to fit perfectly. Like players like Klay fit anywhere. So, as long as the consistency isn't what it once was, but he's still a pretty reliable. I think it was like 39 or 40% from 3. He's still pretty reliable. But when you add him, it makes your offense go even better, right? Now, I don't think he's as good defensively as Derrick Jones Jr. was, just because of the athleticism factor, but he's still an above average defender. So you don't lose a ton and you get more offense, okay? So but that's going to make your starting 5 be Kyrie, Klay, Luka, PJ, and Derek Lively. Like that's a solid, elite starting 5. Because they have spacing, they can rebound, they can defend, and obviously you have one of the best in the world, and you have like one of the best Robins in the world with Kyrie. So like everything works because you're gonna have Luka running pick and roll with Lively, and then you're gonna have Kyrie as a secondary ball handler off of that, and then spacing the floor you're gonna have Klay and PJ. Like PJ's knocked down in the corners, Klay's knocked down anywhere. So it looks good offensively for at least the starting 5. With the Klay addition. But Klay was not the only additions that they had. They did add a couple guys to their bench that I think are going to be pretty solid, Naji Marshall being one of them. It was basically Naji for Derrick Jones Jr., kind of just swapping each other out, in my opinion. The money was pretty similar, but Naji, I think, is a better defender than Derrick is. He's a little bit stronger body, so I think he's going to be able to hang with the bigger forwards a little bit more. And he's really good creating with the ball. He's a good, off the bench ball handler that can attack closeouts and create for others. And he's a good catch and shoot player, which you need those, or you're going to have Luka or him with Kyrie, whoever it is. He's a good fit. He's a good solid fit. He's a good player. There's a reason teams were trying to get him, and there's a reason he got some money. So I'd like him coming off the bench as that guard wing combo. And he's an energizer guy too. Like the Pelicans, they liked him. So I think that's a good addition. Then you have Quentin Grimes, who had a down year last year compared to the year prior, where the year prior he was pretty damn good. But last year, rough patch in New York, gets traded to the Pistons, doesn't play very well in the Pistons. But, the setups are different when you're catching off of Luka passes and Kyrie creation and things like that. And when you have Klay out there, maybe Quentin Grimes has a bounce back. He's only like 24 anyway. It's not like he's an old guy that, is phasing out. He's still figuring it out. But it's a good addition because he's still a good defender, and we've seen him be a good shooter before. So if you can get back to that, I think that's perfect for their bench because then you have a bench with Quentin, Naji, Jaden Hardy, Daniel Gafford, Kleber, maybe Olivier Max Prosper gets a shot or, improves. Gives you a solid bench, and I think with their bench, I think Jaden Hardy is like a breakout candidate because we've seen the guy come in and be able to light it up. And those types of players don't grow on trees to where they can come out and score 10, 12 quick points like that. Like he's got that kind of play style because he's a gunner. And he's still a pretty good passer too. So having him off the bench, I think you're going to see a big year come out of him. Not 20 plus or anything like that, but a big year of improvement where, he's one of the better sixth mans is my call for Jaden because I think he reminds me a lot of other quick shifty guards that can score, like a Jordan Clarkson. He reminds me a lot of that. And I think it's going to be fun because you're going to have a bench that's, 9 or 10. Like Gafford is a starting level center in the league. Quentin has been successful in the past. Naji's been good in the past and recently too. Kleber was injured at the end of last season, so that shot was just terrible. But, before that he was pretty solid. He does a lot of things that the Mavs love. That's why he's coming back. And then, of course, Jaden. So and maybe Olivier Max Prosper gets it going, figures it out. Who knows? I think he was a rookie last year, so there's a lot of untapped potential on their bench, and their starters are like locked in, really good players. So you're in a great situation, especially when you have a guy like Luka leading the show, and you came off of a finals run where your team wasn't as offensively high-powered as it needed to be. So you trade a smidge of defense, and you get a lot better on offense. That's a win of an offseason, especially when teams like the Thunder are filling their needs. You have a team like the Grizzlies coming back. The Nuggets are going to be the Nuggets. There's other good teams in the West too, but it's important that they keep up in the arms race, I guess, because you don't want to be the team that just sits and stalls out. Like some teams have done this offseason and strike out on everybody. They got a good player in Klay. They added a good player in Naji. You took a flyer on Quentin Grimes. It's a good offseason, in my opinion. But let me know in the comments who your favorite addition was. Was it Klay? Was it Quentin? Was it Naji? What do you like about the team? Are you with me on Jaden Hardy? Because I think Jaden Hardy's going to have a really good year next year. One of those, like I said, is one of those breakout candidates that I'm paying attention to. And they look like a team that could be finals bound again or is going to be a problem. I would have wished that Luka didn't play in the Olympics or the World Cup, whatever, the FIBA Cup, whatever you want to call it. I would have preferred that he just stayed home and rested. But we'll see how that turns out because he was banged up at the end of last year, so I thought a break was needed. But we'll see. They're a team that was in the finals, just got better, and they're going to be a problem for anybody as long as they're healthy, of course. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you like this kind of content. Please like the video. I like what the Mavs did. It was a solid offseason. I would give it like a B+ or an A-. I think that they're banking on some development from some young guys, and if you know your developmental system, then if you trust it, then all for it. But thanks for watching. I'm done. Peace.